Yeah, that was a documentary by my buddy Adam, who had he lives up in BC, and that whole area is essentially run by the marijuana industry, even though marijuana is illegal. So they made this documentary explaining how without marijuana, your entire economy is fucked. Mm-hmm. Like it's this underground economy, and they call it the Union. It was a really, really good documentary.
On my list.
And then he went on to make The Culture High, which is also an excellent documentary that he made after that.
I'll watch both.
Well, it's we've been hoodwinked in this country, unfortunately, in all countries now because of the influence of America. We've been hoodwinked by the propaganda that they came up with in the 1930s, which wasn't even about pharmaceutical drugs back then. It was really about the paper industry.
Huh.
Yeah, it's William Randolph Hearst, who was a real creepy guy, and he was the reason why Orson Welles made that movie Citizen Kane. He was the inspiration for that movie.
Okay.
About one guy who was kind of dominating the world with his influence. And William Randolph Hearst didn't just own newspaper companies; he also owned paper mills, and he owned forests. These enormous forests where they would chop down trees and make paper with them. And in the 1930s, they came out with a product called a decorticator. And a decorticator is a machine that allowed them to effectively process hemp fiber very easily.
Okay.
Because hemp is a very unusual plant. And that, like this table that we have here, this is oak. And oak is a very hard wood. Well, hemp is as hard as oak, but it's way lighter. It's like a freaky alien plant. Like if you pick up a hemp stalk, like this is a decorticator that they're, this is like a modern one, I guess. So you throw the hemp fibers in there, and it grinds them up. Which, by the way, hemp is still federally illegal, even though it's not psychoactive. And there's so much stupidity that's all attached to this one amazing plant.
I always thought it was just because it was under so much has to be under 1% THC, or is that a myth? It's not.
I don't think
to make
that's
it legal to sell or something along those lines.
I don't know. You can grow it in some states. But the thing is, like, federally it's still illegal. But they're trying to change that. It's just slow and painful. And again, it's all the propaganda from the 1930s. So William Randolph Hearst, who owned newspapers, they came out with this decorticator, and then Popular Science magazine had this cover. See if you can find it, Jamie. Hemp, the new billion-dollar crop. Because of this, see, they used to use hemp way back in the day. Like the drafts of the Declaration of Independence were written on hemp. The sails that they used for boats were all made out of hemp. Yeah. All that stuff was out of hemp. In fact, canvas, the word canvas comes from the word cannabis. So the Mona Lisa is painted on hemp. So they came up with that, and then when Eli Whitney came up with a cotton gin, cotton was more effective to use. Yeah, so they were going to use it for clothes, and you see it on the cover of Popular Science magazine. It was on the cover, though, Jamie. See if you... Is it Popular Mechanics? Is that what it is? Anyway, so they used to use it for parachutes. They use it for all these different things. But then when Eli Whitney came up with the cotton gin, it was easier for them to make clothes out of cotton because hemp requires a lot to break down the fibers and turn them into cloth. Yeah, because it's a crazy plant.
Yeah,
and it makes this unbelievable paper. Like hemp paper is so superior to this paper that we all use. Like this paper that we use is shit. It rips so easy. Hemp paper is really hard to rip.
Thicker.
But it weighs the same. It looks the same. It feels the same. But it's just a better fiber. So instead of William Randolph Hearst embracing this, he would have lost millions of dollars because he would have had to replant these forests and turn them into hemp. He decided to go the other route and just start making propaganda against hemp. So he started calling it marijuana. See, marijuana was never a name for cannabis. Marijuana was a wild Mexican tobacco. They took this name from this wild Mexican tobacco.
And just called it.
They started talking about this new drug that's making white women get raped by Mexicans and black people.
Nice.
Plant wizards fight wartime drug peril. Look at that. We need hemp, lots of it for Corgage, but hemp means marijuana too. Can scientists take the drug menace out of this useful plant? Hilarious. So all this shit came from this one asshole. One asshole and Harry Anslinger, who was the guy in charge of, they originally got a lot of people that were involved in the alcohol prohibition. And once alcohol prohibition was done, they needed something else to fight. So they said, well, look, we got something right here.
Which alcohol probably does more damage to your body than...
Oh, it does. Trust me. I was drunk as fuck Monday night. I think Monday night I might have been blackout drunk.
People tell me shit for like 3 days probably.
Oh, yeah. I feel like shit today a little bit. But so this propaganda, they're still fighting this. They're literally still fighting this.
Well, that's kind of like, it's a little different, but why kickboxing, MMA was so hard to get into Ontario? Stupid, legislature and stuff from years ago that the language ruined. So it just ruins things.
What was the language?
It's something about the belts. Like, we can't get kickboxing or Muay Thai in Ontario, Canada.
Because of belts?
No, it's because of some language inside, like legal documents, and it's within that language. It said something about you cannot perform kicks, or that's why like the UFC had so much difficult time to get into Toronto.